Welcome to the PharmaVOICE 100 one-on-one video series with Taryn Groen.
Hi, Tina. So good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us for the PharmaVOICE 100 Celebration Marathon.
Nice to see you too. Thank you for inviting me.
It's our pleasure. Tina, you are a creative veteran in healthcare advertising. As such, I'd like to know what you see as the next frontier in the creative process.
I think that's a great question. I see it twofold. Really comes out of the idea that, we have access to insights and we can understand our customers better than ever before. But I'm really not seeing the creative process changing as a result of that. I think other things are changing. So, one of the things that I'm pursuing is how can we reach out to our customers more often? Like right now, I think people are doing a great job of talking to customers before creative and after creative is done. But what can we do to reach out to them in the middle of the creative process to make sure we're getting it right? I think there's also, to that end, people are avoiding ads, obviously. So, but the good thing is that we know where they are from a location standpoint. We understand their media consumption. We understand their mindsets more than anything. And when I think about putting those three together, I think you also have to really think about, is it really right to have one campaign for everybody? The more we do concept testing, everybody has such extreme preferences. We can't expect one campaign to talk to every audience. So I'm really all about, I think the next frontier is really pursuing how do we really more personalize the campaigns, not just changing the messaging, but maybe there are different campaigns to different segments. And that's one of the things that I think we need to start thinking about in terms of creative. So again, it's understanding those customer insights and how we can change the creative process to acknowledge that, not just before and after.
Interesting. So let's continue on that theme. With so many channels and stakeholders now available, how do you keep your creative teams focused and inspired?
Yeah, I think it's more, I'll start with inspired. Instead, a lot of people see that as that fragmenting of media as a negative thing. But to me, I kind of look at it as a gift. It's an opportunity to do more creative things in general. I think it gives people a chance to, flex a different muscle. It breaks out of just the creative team working on ideas. I think we need to bring more people into the fold and have greater brainstorms. But in the end, I think that, from an inspirational standpoint, it's letting the teams know that, guess what, you have more that you can do now as opposed to less, right? You can flex that creative muscle. And I think it's a greater value proposition, especially for younger folks coming in. They're learning a whole different way to think about creative ideas than the old-fashioned, or the traditional way of just thinking about the big overarching campaign. So I think it's teaching them to think about more creative things throughout their process. In addition to, I think you mentioned about the focus. I think when it comes to focus, it really comes back to resourcing. It's really understanding what's the best talent to task and giving them the time and space to actually do that work, and take the things that they're best at and really leverage those and bring them to life. I can give you an example. We were working with a client, and we really need to mimic this idea of what CIN feels like. It's CIPN, which is peripheral neuropathy. And it was something that physicians weren't worried about because they were so focused on, let me treat the cancer, I need to give the chemo, but the chemo is causing peripheral neuropathy, which is extremely painful. So we actually came up with an idea to mimic what it feels like to have that with a glove so that physicians can then sympathize. And that was something that, the creative team came up with, and we kept building upon it and building upon it. We found a partner to partner with us on it. And it was just truly amazing and different. It was just outside of the realm of what the creative team would normally focus on.
Tina, thank you so much. That was a great example, and thank you so much for sharing what the future of creative is going to look like as we go forward. Thank you for being with us.
I appreciate it so much, Taryn. Have a great day.
For more PharmaVoice 100 content, visit www.pharmavoice100.com.